When Wonder Boy was released on the Sega Master System, it paved the road for Metroidvania games on the Sega side of the video game console war. Years later, we'd get a remake titled Wonder Boy: The Dragon's Trap and a modern sequel titled Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom. Aggelos, on the other hand, is different. It's not a remake nor a sequel, but rather inspired by the original to make something familiar yet new. Aggelos has you play as a nameless knight that comes across a princess with her kingdom in despair. An evil dimensional being is after the 4 elements of the kingdom that are also needed to open a hole to a parallel dimension where evil rules over everything. As this nameless hero, you must collect all the elements, get more powerful in the process, and put a stop to this dangerous scheme. It's not a story that's going to win any writing awards, but it's a decent backdrop narrative to give some sense to your adventure. One oddity though is when I started up the game, it actually launched in Japanese for me on my Switch. I do have a Japanese account on my Switch, but I launched it in my American account. I guess it's just a real odd story bug that happened to me, but it's something that you can fix in the options. Like most Metroidvania games, our hero starts off with barebone mechanics but get increasingly more powerful with abilities that not only expand his arsenal, but also the world exploration. At the start of your adventure, all you can really do is jump and slash, barebone stuff. You're presented in this almost Legend of Zelda 2-like 2D side-scrolling gameplay where you walk between NPC villages with dungeons in between. Equipped with you at all times is a world map that gives you some sense of general location, but not as detailed as a minimap could be. While a minimap would have been useful when exploring some of the deeper dungeons, they never got so complicated to the extent of getting lost in them without one. I think that's a common trend for Aggelos. It's simple and approachable. Its RPG elements go as far as being able to upgrade your weapons and armor by simply using the currency you collect from enemies to purchase new equipment in town. Defeating these enemies also earns you XP that automatically gets allocated to your health, for example. Now if Aggelos was a juicy family chicken from Family Mart, then these RPG elements would only be the breading because the real protein lies within the Metroidvania gameplay. As you go around exploring the main dungeons hiding away the 4 elements, you'll come across enemies, different paths, bosses, and powers alike. Like any other Metroidvania game, you'll run into sequences that you can't overcome until you've gained a new ability first. For example, early on you'll gain the ability to create a bubble shield. It, as its name suggests, is a shield, but also helps you jump into water, float in the air, and shoot a spherical blast. It's a nifty universal tool that works in so many different scenarios. That really lends to Aggelos' charm and clever design. It feels like a simple design game, but one that makes use of what it does have at hand to create puzzles that are beyond just turn this switch on. Seeing those same ability sequences then be turned around to fit a boss fight, it's certainly well done. Now outside of the main 5 to 6.5 hour story across the different dungeons, you do have these side quests that you can get from NPCs. They're not that taxing in terms of tasks though, usually just consisting of fetch quests. They add some extra things to do in the world, but nothing entirely wowing sadly. Still, as a bite-sized package overall, the time is short but well spent. For a game so heavily inspired by retro Sega Master System games, it certainly looks the part. Aggelos is presented in the 16-bit art style that looks like it was ripped out of the past. Colors appear vibrant both on TVs and when playing on the go with my Switch. The sprite work looks a bit like a long-lost TurboGrafx 16 game with inspiration of the Master System era. Ultimately, that's what this game was trying so hard to do, to recapture that era of gaming, and I think it does so marvelously. Outside of the shorter length of this game, if I had to knock Aggelos for something else, it'd be its music. It's just so generic sounding. I mean, it's cool that they went for this chiptune soundtrack, it's appreciated, but nothing really remarkable comes out of it. Playing throughout the game, I got these moments of constant music loops in each dungeon that sort of just faded into the background for me, leaving me to just turn on a podcast while I played the game. Overall though, Aggelos provided a pretty bite-sized though still enjoyable Metroidvania adventure throughout the campaign. I don't think it reinvents the wheel or in this case the genre, but it does have some clever and enjoyable gameplay design while staying simple and easily approachable. Accompanying its gameplay is some retro-themed art that reinvigorates memories of the early Sega consoles, although to the past credit, I think they nailed the music better back then. With that said, you can be sure that I'm adding Aggelos to my Metroidvania indie recommendation list, which just seems to be growing every single day now.